I returned a lost wallet and got a $2,000 per week job as a reward. I returned a lost wallet containing $500 to a nice suburban house. Found it in the parking lot of a grocery store. Driver's license inside. Address listed. I could have kept the cash. $500 would have covered my electricity bill and then some. But I drove to the address. Nice neighborhood, manicured lawns, 2-car garages. The man who answered the door looked like a respectable businessman. Gray suit, clean shave, wedding ring. He looked at the wallet, then at me. You returned this? With all the money still inside? Yes, sir. It wasn't mine to keep. He studied my face for a long moment. You're honest. I can't find honest people anymore. Everyone steals. Everyone lies. He pulled out $200 and tried to hand it to me. I declined. That impressed him even more. I own a pharmaceutical distribution company. I need a private courier, someone I can trust, someone who won't ask too many questions. He offered me $2,000 a week, cash, no interview, no background check, just a handshake. I was unemployed, behind on rent, desperate. I took the job. The work was simple. Every Friday, I picked up a locked titanium briefcase from his warehouse. I drove it to a shipping container at the port. I handed it to a man in a gray jumpsuit. I drove home. $2,000 appeared in my mailbox every Monday. Proprietary chemical samples, he told me, for overseas clinical trials. Very sensitive, very valuable. Never opened the case. I didn't ask questions. I needed the money. I wanted to believe. The fourth Friday changed everything. I was driving the coastal highway when a deer jumped onto the road. I slammed the brakes. The briefcase flew off the passenger seat. It hit the dashboard. The lock mechanism cracked. The case popped open. Contents scattered across the floor. I pulled over. I looked down. It wasn't pharmaceutical samples. It was vacuum-sealed bricks wrapped in plastic. White powder visible through the packaging. Cocaine. Kilos of it. My hand started shaking. I understood everything in that moment. He didn't hire me because I was honest. He hired me because I was naive. I was a blind mule. A disposable delivery system. If the police ever stopped me, I would be caught with enough cocaine to guarantee 20 years in federal prison. Trafficking, intent to distribute, organized crime enhancement, and he would claim he barely knew me. Just some guy he hired for odd jobs. No connection. No evidence. I would rot in a cell while he found another desperate honest fool to replace me. I sat on the side of the road for 10 minutes, my heart pounding, my mind racing. I had two choices: finish the delivery and pretend I never saw anything, or turn around. I thought about prison. I thought about my family. I thought about spending the next 2 decades as a convicted drug trafficker. I closed the briefcase. I taped the crack with duct tape from my trunk, and I drove, but not to the port. I drove straight to the police station downtown. I parked in the visitor lot. I carried the briefcase inside. I walked up to the front desk. I want to report a crime, and I want immunity. The officer looked at the case. What's in there? Cocaine. I didn't know until today. I was being used as a mule. 2 detectives took me to an interview room. I told them everything. The wallet, the job offer, the weekly deliveries, the businessman's name and address. They opened the briefcase. They tested the powder. Pure cocaine. Street value over $200,000. The lead detective made me an offer. You can help us catch everyone involved. We'll give you immunity for your cooperation. They wired me. That Friday, I made the delivery like normal. Except this time, 20 undercover officers were watching. The man in the gray jumpsuit took the case. He handed me an envelope of cash, marked bills. The moment he walked away, the bust went down. They arrested him. They arrested the buyers waiting at the shipping container. And they arrested the businessman at his nice suburban house. The one with the manicured lawn and the 2-car garage. He was running cocaine through the port for 3 years, using blind mules like me to avoid detection. I was the 4th courier he had hired. The previous 3 were in prison. None of them had been smart enough to turn around. The businessman is facing 30 years. The man in the jumpsuit flipped and testified against the whole operation. 17 people were arrested in total. I received a Crime Stoppers reward, $10,000. Not life-changing money, but honest money. More importantly, I'm not in a cell.